I want you to hear me and hear me clearly. You are looking at going to prison for 10 years. Would you like to go to prison for 10 years? Then you had better start doing what's asked of you on probation. Otherwise, you're going to be in prison for 10 years. Court is calling 2023 CR 0218, State of Texas versus Christian Eduardo Gomez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
A federal plea for the defendant, Christian Eduardo Gomez, Your Honor.
Are you Christian Eduardo Gomez? You're going to need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Christian Eduardo Gomez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 0218 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on March 28th, 2023 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 20, on or about the first day of July 2023 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Christian Eduardo Gomez did then and there contact Kayla Benavides in person in violation of condition number 20.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive the remaining violated conditions, Your Honor.
Any objections to the waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 20, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 20?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 22. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. It is to deny the motion to adjudicate, continue him on as deferred, and to have alternate amend his conditions to include SATIP with aftercare, and then upon release, he sends to ISP caseload. And also reiterate that he is to have no contact with Kayla Benavides.
All right. Is that the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Probation?
That is the agreement, Your Honor.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth or nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Why are you not doing well on probation?
I admit I did have a drug problem during the probation and I didn't take advantage of that, but I was aware that I had to turn myself in and I knew I was going to do that when I stopped reporting, ma'am. But unfortunately, I got put over with a friend before I was able to do that.
Oh, you know what? People are always intending to do things before life steps in.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're pulled over with a friend. So you're telling the court that you and your friend, at least your friend was driving you to the jail to turn yourself in, but you all got pulled over.
No, ma'am, that's not what I was saying. At that day, I was just heading home. My intention was to turn myself in after the new year. I wanted to spend the New Year's with my family, but it didn't go that way.
Yeah. How old are you?
22 years old.
All right. I want you to hear me and hear me clearly. You are looking at going to prison for 10 years. Would you like to go to prison for 10 years? Then you had better start doing what's asked of you on probation. Otherwise, you're going to be in prison for 10 years. You know that orange outfit you're wearing? Does it have your name tag in it?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, somebody else had that on. I don't know if they're washing uniforms at the jail or not. I know they're not using Downy. I know they're just using detergent that says detergent on the box. And if you have an allergic reaction to that, that's on you. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won, but I mean, the bunch of roaches fighting. They send me video of no ceiling towel. Is that the way you want to live your life?
Of course not.
I have students that I teach in college. I always take them to a tour of the jail because I tell them, if you want to be a defense attorney or prosecutor, you need to know where you're sending people. So we always go to the jail. They're astounded. I know that when you're at the jail and you need bathroom tissue to use, you have to ask for it. If they tell you 2 squares, like from Seinfeld, where Elaine was like, all I need is a square. That's all they give you, a square. And it's the same thing for the ladies. 2 squares, here you go. Me, I prefer the mint method where that doesn't happen at the jail. So here's the thing. I'm going to deny the motion and you are to have no contact with Kayla Benavides. Who is she to you?
Next girlfriend,
All right, that relationship is over. How long have you known her?
5 years.
All right, so you've been alive on the planet longer than you've known her, so you cut her loose because she doesn't want you anymore. If you're around her, if you contact her, if you send her a birthday card or flowers or anything like that, a motion to revoke is going to be filed and you're looking at 10 years in prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Coach, if I may,
Yes.
just to also reiterate, there was she was actually contacting him at times, so if you might want to admonish him on that also.
Here's the thing, if she calls you, don't answer. If she comes by your house, call the police. Say, I'm not supposed to have any contact with her. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Move on. Obviously, y'all are not good together. That's why they want the non-contact order. I'll do a referral to felony drug court. That'll be first, followed by SATF with aftercare. So if felony drug court doesn't accept him, then he'll be going to SATF.
Yes, Your Honor, we will need a tap.
All right, and then we'll do a TAP evaluation. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, and just so you know, I had already put no contact with Kayla. So I've written it down twice. So if you come back before me with contact before Kayla, we're gonna have some issues. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you better do better. I know you don't want to go to prison, but that can happen. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Court is calling 2023 CR 10501, State of Texas versus Gary Bernard Farmer. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Anna Ochoa Nelson.
Defense?
Renee Munoz on behalf of Mr. Farmer.
Are you Mr. Farmer? You're gonna need to speak up.
Yes, sir.
Court reporter needs to hear, all right? You understand?
Yes.
All right, can you speak louder than that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Farmer, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's pretend like you are outside with your friends. I know you're not whispering. So don't whisper in front of me because the court reporter cannot hear. You understand? And when I say she cannot hear, she can't hear whispering. It makes her job too difficult. So you need to speak at the level that I'm speaking at. You understand? All right, he's still whispering. Diana, can you hear?
Maybe if you move the microphone up a little, I think he's a very soft-spoken individual.
I hear bass in his
Your Honor,
voice.
sorry.
All right, that's not treble, that's bass. Although there was a rap song where they said, bang the bass and turn up the treble. I want you to bang the treble and turn up the bass, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Bill of Indictment. Did you review that Bill of Indictment with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, if we may.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are not, Your Honor. We're proceeding on the lesser offense of assault, bodily injury, family member, Class A.
Any objection?
No objection. from the defense.
Going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family? That's a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are you only applying for community supervision?
That's correct, Judge.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
That's correct, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Farmer, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family. Punishment is to be assessed at 365 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $1,500 fine to be probated. State recommends community supervision. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Marcel, Marcel, Washington, the BIPP, mental health evaluation and compliance. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
That's correct, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
State offer states exhibit 1 with attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. And state, have you been in contact with the complainant about this offer?
We have, Your Honor.
All right. All right, you may continue to confer. Going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If we may, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. My client's originally from Indiana. He moved here in about 2020. The last time he was receiving meds in Indiana was 2019. Unfortunately, Texas's resources for mental health aren't there compared to other states. He hasn't been set up with mental health services and meds. But in conferring with the state, I know that they're wanting him to be evaluated. He has been in custody for the last 125 days, Judge. As you can see, he's calm, docile, and he's willing and able to follow the probation. I did go over with him the BIP course and all the requirements of that, as well as the requirements of probation. He stated he would make all appointments. He knows that he can't live with his brother right now, Marcel. There's a no contact order. So he's able and willing to live with his aunts, Andrea Washington, lives here in San Antonio, to abide by the conditions of the court. We're asking, Judge, if you can do the mental health eval and TAP out of custody. He's been in custody for 125 days now. People with mental illnesses in custody is generally not the most conducive environment for them to get a handle on their mental health, Judge. So he said he's willing and able to make all those appointments in order to get better mentally stable. So we're asking for those things, Judge, and for the court to respectfully follow the plea bargain agreement. It was a fight between brothers. It got a little heated. Things occurred that shouldn't have occurred, but he's remorseful for that, and he just wants the chance of this probation, Judge.
All right. So you moved from Indiana?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have family in Indiana?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what brought you to San Antonio?
Family?
Are you employed or receiving SSI?
No, Your Honor.
No to which one? No, you're not employed, and no, you're not receiving SSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, when's the last time you were employed?
Last year, Your Honor.
How do you support yourself?
I work,
Doing what?
work like warehouses.
How far did you go in school?
I completed high school.
So have you seen any doctors for your mental health?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, and what's your diagnosis, if you know?
Schizophrenia.
Okay. And is this the first time you had an altercation with your brother?
No, Your Honor.
All right, what other altercations have you had with him?
It's like the same thing. We just turning evil sometimes.
I'm sorry, what?
We turning evil sometimes.
Okay,
So, Judge, just a little background for the court. Oh,
so
sorry.
just 1 second. But I read in the report that he's not verbal.
Yeah, he's like, he has a mental illness, I guess. Yeah, and he just sometimes he just be turning evil, doing
All right, so on this occasion, what are you saying he did?
like he sometimes he's like normal, sit around and stuff, but sometimes he just black out, start hurting himself and like people around.
Okay, so during this altercation, what happened?
Like he was doing that, like hurting himself and people around him. So I be trying to stop him, but like it goes to a point where I like put my hands on him, or somebody in the house have to put their hands on him to make him sit down or something.
And how old is he?
He's 22. He's not on medicine. I think he's supposed to be on medicine.
All right, and defense is saying that you have a place to stay with your aunt. Has anybody talked to the aunt? Does she want him stay? Have you talked to your aunt to ask her if you can stay there?
No.
Defense, have you talked to the aunt?
No, Your Honor. I spoke with him today. He said that that would be an option because he's a family member living here. In terms of the brother, he does have, according to the mother, there's been nothing tendered in evidence about a disease called Lesch syndrome.
Well, if you're going to say that syndrome, you need to spell it.
I did have it, the paperwork on that, but you know, just to briefly just describe it, it's something that has to deal with like self-mutilation, where he kind of claws, he scrapes himself, he hits himself against the head, like the wall. And I think in this situation, I think the brother was doing those kind of things, and he was trying to get a handle on him, the brother, but it just kind of escalated from there, but he's aware of the no contact.
Diana, that's LESCH hyphen NYHAN syndrome.
Yes, yeah, thank you for that, Judge. I don't know how to pronounce it either.
No problem. It's just when people are saying medical terms, then the court reporter will have to do research to find out how to spell it. So I always encourage people, when you're using medical terms,
Yes,
slow down and spell it.
yes, yes. But yes, Judge, that's the situation. The brother unfortunately is afflicted with that, but I think that he, you know, the brother does need treatment and help of his own, and it's kind of like he does things to, you know, himself and other people that kind of can agitate, but, you know, not to saying that it was correct with how things progress, but that, you know, that's more or less why.
All right. Do you have any children?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So what I can tell you, counsel, here's my concern with releasing him. He doesn't have a place to go.
Well,
We're saying the aunt. I know there is a community court now,
yes,
and I think that's with Judge Vera next door.
yes.
So I'm going to have him in custody. If you bring back to the court, you know, word from his aunt that she can stay there, then I'll release him. Otherwise, the evaluation for mental, the mental health evaluation to place him on the mid caseload, that will be done, and the TAP evaluation will be done in custody. However, if you are able to bring to the court, you know, that he has stable housing,
Yes.
that he has a doctor set up, then I will release him. But I can't just release him. I don't have anything showing that he's going to have his medications. Are you on medications?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So if he's schizophrenic, usually they're on medications. I don't want to interfere with any doctors that you may have. He needs to be set up with doctors, because otherwise what we're going to have is somebody who doesn't have a place to stay. People always say family will take them in, but sometimes you knock on family door and they're like, I don't want this problem. So if you give me that, I'll reconsider. But for now, he's going to be in custody until these issues are arranged. So, sir, if your attorney, he's an officer of the court, if he calls your aunt, talks to your aunt, and your aunt says you can stay with her, then I will allow you to be released. But for now, that's not going to happen, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for communicating that, Judge. I appreciate it.
All right, so I'm finding you guilty, going to sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There's to be no contact with Marcel Washington. State, I'm not really sure if this is a BIPP course issue that's needed here, but I know there's some anger management. Are you okay if I don't give him BIPP, but give him anger management instead? Defense, are you okay with me giving him anger management instead of BIPP?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. There'll be anger management. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. I'm going to want a MIC evaluation, a TAP evaluation, and both of those evaluations will take place in custody. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want monthly field visits. And probation, that will just be until he's set up with a case manager or he's set up with a mental health doctor. There's to be proof of employment or SSI within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. In regards to the TAP evaluation, follow all TAP and mental health recommendations. If TAP suggests inpatient treatment, we're going to start first with outpatient treatment. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Your Honor, I didn't hear anything about allergies.
Yes, thank you. Regular UAs.
And she's
No.
nothing else.
All right. So counsel, if you'll make sure you contact with community court, if you contact with them, even though he may not be eligible for their program, they may have contacts to get him housing and that type of a thing.
Okay.
Are-
Yes, Judge, I know that sometimes it's hard for the specialty courts if it's not refiled as a misdemeanor to accept them because it's hard for them to track.
Mhm.
But I can ask for the resources surely.
Yes.
I'm gonna reach out to his aunts and then I'll update the court if I'm able to make contact.
And I'll-
Oh, sorry. Yes, reach out to the aunts and make contact with her, and if he can stay there, I'll update the court as to that.
All right. And counsel, if for some reason they will take them as, if this is refiled as a misdemeanor, you may want to talk to the state and see if they would object to a motion for new trial.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Farmer, is there anything you need from the court to be successful? Anything else you need? You'll come around.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, there you go.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Oh, and I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Farmer, if there's anything that you need, please let probation know. If you feel as though probation is not addressing that issue, you can always come back to this court, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be
Thank you.
excused?
Yes.
Do you have a number for your aunt? Okay.
Are you all ready on the case Annette Drago? Okay. Court is calling 2023 CR 6843, State of Texas versus Latasha Jenkins. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Seal Andrews to the state.
Defense?
Rafael Leal for Natasha Jenkins.
And are you Ms. Jenkins?
Yes, ma'am.
You entered a plea of no contest on December 5th. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is silent on your application. They're taking in consideration 2022 CR 3280. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I call Andre Carruthers to stand.
All right. Carruthers, Deputy Laura, we have a witness. All right, Mr. Carruthers, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Andre Carruthers.
All right, defense?
Yes, Your Honor. How do you spell your last name?
Corothes.
And what is the type of your relationship to Latasha Jenkins?
My boyfriend.
Right? And are you the complainant in this case?
Yes, sir.
And and this is the incident that occurred May 5th, 2023, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you understand the accusation and the offense that Miss
Oh, just 1 second
Jenkins.
off the record for a moment. Excuse me. If y'all could move down to this end. All right, you may continue, counsel.
Thank you. And you know the charge that Miss Jenkins is facing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it's an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Yes, sir.
And she has applied for deferred adjudication, which means a type of probation that there will be no conviction if she follows the guidelines and does not commit any other offenses or comes up positive with drugs.
Yes, sir.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And are you opposed to Ms. Jenkins getting probation?
Am I against it?
Are you against it?
No, sir.
Okay, so you are in support of that?
Yes, sir.
And there is also a provision perhaps that the court may impose that there will be no contact with you if she's granted probation. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I was told.
And do you oppose the contact order?
Yeah.
And do you oppose no injurious or hazardous contact? Are you in favor of that? Which means
Yes.
the two of you or she cannot have or give you any kind of injury or
Yes,
or be a hazard to your health.
Yes, sir.
You think that that would be okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And concerning the incident, what type of injury did you receive?
It was like a scratch.
Scratch?
It was like a scratch.
So there was nothing else besides that? Okay. And were you two on drugs at the time?
Yes, sir.
What type of drugs were you doing?
Man.
And she cannot be having, if you two are in contact with each other, she cannot be having or be using drugs Would you be able to support that, even that you're also a drug user?
Yes.
Are you still using
Against
drugs?
it, no, sir.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Are you still using drugs? Yes or no?
No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
All right, any questions?
No question, Chairman.
All right, so I see here that she stabbed your bag several times. No. According to the police report, it says that she started cutting up your bag.
Did I know?
Okay. All right, thank you.
I call Natasha Jenkins to stand.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sure.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Natasha Jenkins.
All right, defense.
Ms. Jenkins, you applied for a type of probation known as deferred adjudication probation, is that correct?
Yes.
And that is a type of probation that if you do not comply with the requirements of that community supervision, deferred adjudication, the judge has the full range, if you violate a condition, the full range of punishment, anywhere from as low as 2 or up to 20 years. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, do you intend to abide by the conditions of probation that the court may impose?
Yes, sir.
And why do you think that is the case?
Because I'm changing my, I sat in Dare County for almost a year and I completed successfully classes, got certificates. I got, recommendations from the teachers in, unlock program for the outside community. To better be successful with my mental health and my, substance abuse and me, period.
And the programs that you completed, are those included in Defense Exhibit 1? Do you recognize Exhibit 1?
Yes, sir.
And Exhibit 1 consists of 8 pages of certificates covering the different programs that you attended,
Yes, sir.
and that includes anger management, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And also therapy groups
Yes, sir.
and Microsoft Word
Yes, sir.
and Excel
Yes, sir.
and exhibit number 2, what is that?
The letter to the judge Boyd, from Lisa Rodriguez, the unlock program.
Okay, and what type of program is the online program?
They help you with any classes that you need, that the court orders for you. They help you with the fees. It's for continuing care. It's a reentry program. They help you with anything that you need, to help me get back on my SSI, get my SSI started again. And to get me with a part-time job, whatever SSI allows me to, work outside of SSI.
In few words, is that they help you to reintegrate yourself to society?
Yes.
Okay. I offered exhibit 1 and exhibit 2 for.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor. State has reviewed these.
All right, then defense exhibit 1. And defense exhibit number 2 is admitted into evidence.
Now, prior to this incident, were you on SSI?
Yes.
And were you also working part-time?
Yes.
And what do you intend to do, or what are your plans if the judge were to grant you a deferred adjudication?
Get back on my SSI and continue a part-time job, that SSI allowed you to work and maintain my mental health.
What type of mental health illness do you suffer from?
Bipolar and, PTSD.
And were you on medication at the time of this incident?
No, sir.
Okay, and are you on medication now?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a place to stay
Yes.
if you were granted probation?
Yes.
And where would that be?
My brother's house.
And does he know that that's what you're planning to live?
Yes, he's been supportive for me since I've been in the veteran.
Do you have any children?
No.
That's the way to do it.
Any questions?
So you're-
All right, why did you cut your boyfriend with a knife?
We were into an altercation and I didn't intentionally do it. When I like pulled it out, it nicked him. It was like a scratch that was gone like within maybe minutes.
All right, why were you cutting up his bag?
I don't remember cutting his bag up. I don't remember that at all, cutting the bag.
All right. Why have you not been successful on previous probations? Because I see that you've been on probation in
Yes,
Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes. I was in Des Moines, Iowa. My mother died. My husband went to federal prison. My brother left state. I was the only one there. I had no support system there. And I was like going house to house. I like couldn't maintain employment.
What is the escape?
Oh, it wasn't escape. It was dropped from escape. I left from the place that they sent me to after I got out of jail. It was a involuntary absence. That's what they dropped it.
No, and where did they place you after you were released from custody?
It was like a halfway house
Okay, and you left without permission?
on Sunday.
And then, so that's from 2007, and then 2011, you were placed on probation again and revoked, and all of this is out of Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes,
Then in Knoxville, Illinois, you were revoked from probation there as well.
Knoxville, Iowa.
No, it says Knoxville, Illinois, Marion County.
Yeah, that's Iowa.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then Hamilton County, Illinois.
Iowa. I don't know why they put Illinois.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. And then Dallas County.
Yeah, that's Iowa too. Iowa was just a bad area. Since I left there, I have been so much better. Like, I was like, my life was not great there at all. I had no support there. Like I said, like my mother died, my brother left town, my husband went to federal prison. My life was just not great there. That's why I left there and came up here and lived
All right.
and
Well,
started my life.
I've read defense, I've read all your exhibits, and I've read your letter
ma'am.
from Ms. Rodriguez. I appreciate you presenting these to me because it gives me a chance to know the person that's before me. And I also am taking in consideration the testimony of Mr. Carruthers. However, I don't think you'll be a good candidate for probation. So I'm going to find you guilty. There's to be no contact with Andre Carruthers, Tiffany Sansom, SANSOM. There's affirmative finding of family violence, taken in consideration 2022 CR 3280. I'll sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I've actually given you less than what was requested. And there's also an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I've actually given you less than what you bargained for. And because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence and also an affirmative finding of deadly weapon and a conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Jenkins, good luck to you, okay?
And, is it possible if I get my 2-for-1?
You'll have to, here's what people don't understand. 2 for 1, 3 for 1. The court is not in charge with that.
Oh.
It's whatever institution you're at, they're in charge of what credit they give you. What I can tell you, you will at least be receiving time for every day that you've been in jail. And whether they want to give you good time credit or not, that's dependent on the institution. But if there's an issue, for example, let's say hypothetically, you've been in jail for 50 days. If you feel like you're not getting credit for those entire 50 days, then your attorney can come back. But if you want 100 days or 150 days, That's something with the institution. It's not something that I can give you. All right, good luck to you. Court is calling 2023 CR 5938, State of Texas versus Cristobal Miranda. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Ramirez for the defendant.
Are you Cristobal Miranda?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Cristobal Miguel Miranda who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 5938 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on August 17, 2023 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 1, on or about the 5th day of November, 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Cristobal Miguel Miranda, committed the offense of criminal trespass in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violated condition number 4, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Cristobal Miguel Miranda, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of September and October of 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
No.
Your Honor, we waive the other violations alleged in the motion.
Any objection?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 1 and 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 1 and 4?
Yes.
Court will find 1 and 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking that you deny the motion, continue the defendant on probation with probation's recommendations, which are that the defendant attend DDRF inpatient treatment with monthly UAs upon release. The state is going to take into consideration County Court cause number CC 720-868. That's in County Court 9. And also that the defendant had no contact with the Pizza Hut at 1820 South General.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right. Probation, is this your recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, his stop was recently done while in custody. It's the top recommendation.
All right, court will deny the motion, extend for 2 years, transfer to DDRF, take in consideration County Court cause number 720-868. There should be no contact with Pizza Hut. So if you want pizza, you have to make it yourself or either do Domino's or somewhere else. Okay. All right. Probation. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right. Good luck to you.